Somebody in this room needs to hear this today. I want you to ask yourself one simple question. Do you have the courage? Not the courage to sit in comfort, not the courage to stay silent, but the courage to stand up when everything in you wants to sit down. The courage to speak your truth when the world whispers, be quiet. The courage to chase your dreams when fear is knocking at your door. Because courage, real courage, is not the absence of fear. No, courage is feeling the fear, standing in the fire, and saying, I will not be stopped. I will not be denied. I will rise. I'm here today to challenge every soul in this room. Are you ready to unlock the power that lives in your courage? Are you ready to step into the greatness that is waiting on the other side of fear? Courage is not something that happens to you when fear disappears. Courage does not knock on your door and say, hey, now you're ready. No, courage is something you decide to embrace in the middle of fear, in the very moment when your heart is pounding and your hands are shaking. It is a choice you make when everything inside of you screams to run, to hide, to play it safe, and to stay in the familiar. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that fear will not stop you. Every great story in history, every life that has changed the world began with someone choosing courage over comfort. They did not wait for the storm to pass. They stepped into it, knowing that the wind would try to knock them down, knowing that the waves would try to drown their dreams, but still they moved forward. Courage demands that you act even when the path is unclear, even when the odds are stacked against you, and even when everyone else doubts you. It is in those moments that your character is forged, that your destiny begins to unfold. Too often, we mistake courage for a feeling. We wait to feel brave, to feel ready, to feel strong. But feelings are fleeting. Fear can come and go. Excitement can fade, and confidence can waver. True courage does not rely on feelings. True courage is a deliberate choice to do what must be done, to take that first step when you cannot see the entire staircase, to raise your voice when silence feels safer, to walk into a new season when the past tugs at you with chains of doubt. It is choosing to rise when circumstances want to keep you down, to fight when giving up seems easier, and to believe in yourself when no one else does. Every choice you make toward courage is a seed planted in the soil of your life. Each step you take in defiance of fear grows into something greater than yourself. Courage is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary leaders, dreamers into achievers, and vision into reality. And here is the truth. The more you practice choosing courage, the stronger it becomes. It becomes a muscle, one that grows every time you refuse to give in to fear. And before you know it, courage is not just something you call upon in moments of crisis. It becomes the heartbeat of your life, the rhythm that carries you through challenges, failures, and setbacks. You will look back and realize that the choices you made when you felt afraid, the choices that required guts and grit, were the very moments that defined you. So remember, this courage is a choice, not a feeling. You do not wait for it to find you, you summon it. You do not hope for it to arrive, you decide to act. And when you do, you open the door to a life of purpose, power, and unshakable faith in yourself. Every one of us is giants in our lives. They are not always literal, but they are just as real, just as towering, and just as frightening. Some of them wear the mask of doubt, whispering in your ear that you are not enough, that you do not have what it takes to rise. Others take the form of failure, reminding you of the times you stumbled, the dreams that never came to pass, the promises that were broken. There are giants of fear that keep you awake at night, giants of pain that weigh heavy on your heart, and giants of rejection that make you question your worth. These giants are relentless. They wait for the perfect moment to strike, to paralyze you, to convince you that stepping forward is too dangerous. And yet the story of every triumph, every victory, every breakthrough in life is a story of someone who looked those giants squarely in the face and said, "You will not stop me." Facing giants is not about the absence of fear. It is about refusing to let fear control you. It is about understanding that the very presence of giants in your path is not a reason to turn back, but a reason to move forward. Because giants exist to test the depth of your courage, the strength of your faith, and the determination of your spirit. The question is not whether giants will appear, they will. The question is, will you rise to meet them? Will you take that step even when the weight of your challenges threatens to crush you? Life does not promise that the path will be easy. The giants you face may be taller than you, stronger than you, smarter than you. But here is the truth. Giants do not determine your destiny. Your response does. Every time you refuse to shrink, every time you refuse to run, every time you stand firm, you diminish the power of the giants over your life. And with each step of bravery, each act of defiance, each moment of faith, you shrink the giants until they no longer control your path. And one day, you will look back and realize that those giants, the very ones that once seemed insurmountable, were the instruments that sharpened your courage, defined your strength, and prepared you for the greatness that was waiting for you. So do not turn away. Do not hide. Do not pretend the giants do not exist. Face them. Confront them. And when you do, you will discover that the strength to overcome was inside you all along, waiting for the moment you decided to stand tall. The giants are big, yes, but your courage, your faith, your determination, these are bigger. And when you step into your power, they will fall behind you, and you will walk forward victorious, stronger, and unshakable. There is power in your voice. There is authority in your story. There is a force in the words that live inside of you, waiting for permission to be spoken. Too many of us walk around carrying the weight of our thoughts, our dreams, our pain, and our calling, believing that silence will protect us, that keeping quiet will keep us safe. But the truth is, silence is a prison. It locks up the greatness inside of you. It keeps your destiny waiting outside, knocking at the door, while you sit in fear, unsure if anyone will listen. Speaking your truth is not always easy. In fact, it is rarely easy. It requires vulnerability. It requires courage. It requires standing in a room knowing that someone might disagree, someone might judge, someone might even try to tear you down. But here is what I want you to understand. Your truth has power far greater than their opinions. Every time you refuse to speak, every time you hold back what you know in your heart, every time you hide the fire of your passion because you fear rejection, the world misses out on the gift that only you can give. Your story, your voice, your truth has the ability to heal, to inspire, to ignite, and to transform. There are people listening right now who need exactly what you carry. They need your honesty, your perspective, your courage to speak when others would remain silent. There is freedom in truth. There is liberation in saying what needs to be said, even if your voice trembles. Because when you speak your truth, you not only set yourself free, but you give others permission to do the same. Courage is contagious, and honesty has a way of breaking chains that fear could never touch. Think about it for a moment. Every movement, every revolution, every breakthrough in history began when someone dared to speak their truth. Someone dared to stand and say, "This is what I believe. This is what I see. This is what must change." They risked ridicule. They risked rejection. They risked their reputation. And yet the world was changed because they found the courage to speak. And you sitting in this room today, carrying your own voice, your own calling, have the same power. It may start small. It may start with a whisper, but a whisper can grow into a roar. A voice can grow into a movement, and your truth can grow into a legacy. So I challenge you, stop shrinking, stop hiding, stop pretending that your words do not matter. Step forward, speak with courage, speak with authority, speak with faith, because your truth is not just your story. It is the bridge to someone else's breakthrough, the light in someone else's darkness, and the spark that can ignite a fire in this world that only you can start. Speak your truth and watch how courage rises, how doors open, and how your life and the lives of others will never be the same again. Courage is never free. It always comes with a price. There is a cost to standing up when the world wants you to sit down. There is a cost to speaking out when others want you to stay silent. There is a cost to stepping forward when fear is pressing in from every side, and that cost is sacrifice. Every person who has ever achieved something great, who has ever walked into their destiny, has paid a price for their courage. They have given up comfort. They have risked relationships. They have endured criticism, rejection, and even ridicule. They have chosen the path that demanded more than they ever thought they could give. And in that choice, they discovered the strength that was hidden inside them all along. Sacrifice is not easy. It is not glamorous. It is not something that the world applauds in the moment. It is quiet. It is grueling. It is painful. It is saying no to the things that feel good today so that the life you desire can come tomorrow. It is working late when others are resting. It is practicing when others are playing. It is enduring criticism when others are celebrating mediocrity. It is sacrificing approval to stay true to your purpose. And yet the beauty of sacrifice is that it shapes you. It molds your character. It tests your faith. It stretches you beyond the limits of your comfort. Every act of sacrifice for the sake of courage strengthens you, equips you, and prepares you for the greatness that lies ahead. You see, courage and sacrifice are inseparable. You cannot have one without the other. To be courageous is to be willing to pay the price, to take the hits, to go through the fire. It is to understand that the moment you step into your purpose, you may face resistance, loss, or discomfort, but you press on anyway because the reward is greater than the cost. Every step of courage that demands sacrifice brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. And when you look back, you will see that every sacrifice, every moment of discomfort, every risk you took was not in vain. It built you. It prepared you. It opened doors that fear could never unlock. And the truth is, those who are not willing to sacrifice will never taste the fullness of courage. They will never know the joy of victory that comes after the struggle. They will never experience the power of walking boldly into their destiny, because courage always asks, are you willing to give up what you have today for what you could have tomorrow? Are you willing to endure, to risk, to sacrifice for the sake of your calling, your dreams, your purpose? The choice is yours. Step into courage, embrace the sacrifice, and you will discover a life of power, purpose, and unshakable faith that no obstacle can ever take from you. Courage is not only about what it does for you, it is about what it does for everyone around you. Every time you step into your courage, you are lighting a fire for someone else who has been waiting in the shadows, uncertain, afraid, and unsure if they can move forward. You see, courage is contagious. It does not exist in isolation. When one person stands up, when one person speaks out, when one person chooses to rise despite fear, it gives permission for others to do the same. There is someone watching you right now who has been paralyzed by doubt. Someone who has been holding back because they are afraid of what people will think. Someone who has been hiding their dreams because it feels safer to stay small. And the moment they see you rise, the moment they see you face your giants, the moment they hear your voice speak your truth, it gives them hope. It shows them that courage is possible. It shows them that fear can be faced, that obstacles can be overcome, that life does not have to remain the same. Every courageous act has a ripple effect. You may not even realize the lives you touch, the spirits you awaken, the hearts you encourage simply by choosing to be brave. Sometimes it is a word spoken in the right moment that changes a person's path. Sometimes it is a decision to stand when everyone else sits, that gives someone else the courage to stand as well. Sometimes it is the act of refusing to give up that reminds someone else that they do not have to give up either. Your courage is a light in the darkness for those who cannot see their way forward. And the beauty of it is this: the more you embrace your courage, the more others are inspired to embrace theirs. Courage breeds courage. Bravery multiplies. Faith becomes contagious. And the world begins to change, not because everyone is fearless, but because someone dared to lead with courage. Someone dared to step forward. Someone dared to say, I will not be stopped, and neither should you. Do not underestimate the power of your example. Do not think for a moment that your courage is only for you. It is a gift to those who are watching, a beacon for those who are struggling, a bridge for those who have been lost in fear. And sometimes the greatest legacy you can leave is not in the things you acquire, but in the lives you touch simply by being brave, simply by walking into the fire, simply by refusing to be silent when you were meant to roar. Every act of courage plants a seed of hope. Every brave step tells a story that says you can too. And when you realize that your courage inspires others, it transforms the meaning of bravery from a personal act into a movement that has the power to change the world. So rise, stand tall, and let your courage speak, not just for you, but for everyone who is waiting for someone to show them the way. Courage is the key that unlocks the door to your purpose. Many people walk through life as if their destiny is waiting for them somewhere else, as if purpose is something they will stumble upon by accident. But the truth is, purpose is not revealed to the timid, it is not given to the fearful, and it is not granted to those who wait for permission. Purpose demands courage. It demands that you step out of the shadows of doubt, that you move beyond the chains of fear, and that you take bold action even when the outcome is uncertain. Every great life, every story of transformation begins when someone decides that fear will not define them, that failure will not stop them, and that the unknown will not intimidate them. Courage is the force that propels you into the arena of your calling. It is what allows you to say yes to opportunities that others shy away from, to embrace challenges that seem too big, and to move forward when the world says you can't. Without courage, purpose remains dormant, a seed buried beneath layers of hesitation, waiting for the light of bravery to nurture it. But the moment you choose courage, the moment you say, I will step forward no matter how afraid I am, your purpose begins to emerge. It begins to take shape. Doors that were once closed start to open. Opportunities that were once hidden reveal themselves. People who were meant to walk with you appear, and the path that once seemed unclear becomes illuminated. Courage is what transforms potential into reality. It is the spark that turns a dream into a mission, a calling into a life's work, and a vision into a legacy. And here is the truth. Purpose and courage are inseparable. You cannot fully embrace your destiny without stepping into the discomfort of courage, because purpose always asks you to move beyond what is familiar, safe, and comfortable. It asks you to risk, to strive, to stretch, and to grow. It asks you to trust that the power inside of you is greater than the obstacles before you. Every act of courage brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Every risk you take, every fear you confront, every time you step out, even when you are unsure, you are unlocking another part of your purpose. And when you fully embrace your courage, you begin to live in alignment with who you were created to be. You begin to operate from a place of strength, clarity, and confidence. You begin to see that your life is not random, your struggles are not meaningless, and your gifts are not wasted. Courage unlocks the door to your destiny. And once that door is open, there is no limit to what you can achieve, the lives you can touch, and the legacy you can leave. So stand up, step forward. Let courage be your guide, because on the other side of fear, on the other side of doubt, lies the fullness of your purpose, waiting for you to claim it, live it, and shine it into the world. Somebody needs to hear me tonight. I am not just talking about courage as a word. I'm talking about courage as a way of life, as a fire in your soul, as the force that will push you past fear, past doubt, past every you can't that the world has thrown at you. I am talking about the courage to rise when everyone expects you to fall. I am talking about the courage to speak your truth when silence would be easier. I am talking about the courage to face your giants, to pay the price, to make the sacrifice, and to step into the destiny that has been waiting on the other side of your fear. And I want you to know this, your courage matters. Your courage is not just for you. It is for the world that is waiting for someone brave enough to lead. Your courage is the spark that can ignite hope in someone who has been sitting in darkness. Your courage is the bridge that can pull someone out of despair. Your courage is the key that unlocks your purpose and sets your life on fire. So I am asking you tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, will you rise? Will you stand? Will you speak? Will you step? Because the world is waiting for the bold. The giants are waiting for the brave. The opportunity is waiting for the fearless. And your moment, yes, your moment's arrived. Go, step forward, stand tall, speak your truth, face your giants, Live your purpose and watch as your courage changes not just your life, but changes everything around you.